Bonjour mes amis, aujourd'hui on va faire le chapitre 5. On commence avec une petite révision. On étudie le vocabulaire pour les courses et on étudie l'article partitif et les expressions de quantité. Allons-y. Alors, petite révision, c'est à la page, quelle page? 125. Oui, c'est le verbe faire. Vous aimez, question, vous aimez faire les devoirs? Répondez. Réponse, oui, j'aime faire les devoirs. Oui, avec deux verbes. Oui, j'aime faire les devoirs. Négatif, je n'aime pas faire les devoirs. Oui, c'est normal. Vous faites les devoirs le matin ou le soir? Répondez. Je fais les devoirs le matin ou je fais les devoirs le soir. Pratiquez les flashcards pour le verbe faire. D'accord? Un petit exercice, que font-ils? Les expressions avec faire, par exemple, Julien fait du jogging. Donc, posez le PowerPoint et écrivez les réponses. Pause the PowerPoint, see if you can write these answers or what these people are doing. Okay? Okay, you did it? Yes? Okay. Numéro 1. Je fais du cheval. Je fais du cheval. Tu fais les courses ou tu fais du shopping. Anne fait du piano ou elle fait de la musique. Louis et Paul, quel verbe? Font du camping. Vous faites la cuisine. Denis, do you pronounce that S? No, no, no. Denis fait du ski. Nous faisons une promenade, or more appropriately, nous faisons une randonnée, hike. Elles font du vélo, or elles font de la bicyclette. Très bien. Étudier le verbe, c'est un verbe très, très, très important. Ok, nouveau vocabulaire. À la page, quelle page? 143. So we're going to look at the vocabulary for shopping and different stores to go to. And I just want to say, traditionally in France, people would shop for their food several times a week. And they would go to different stores, different specialty stores. And these stores almost always sell products that are better quality than you would find in a supermarket. So you would go to the butchers to get your meat and the bakers to get your bread and the cheese shop to get your cheese, etc. So that is changing now as people become busier and more supermarkets are gigantic supermarkets are sprouting up. People are doing more the American style, just going to a big store, getting everything. But it's really nice when you go visit friends to go visit these stores and to get a taste of what real French farmer cheese tastes like, real artisanal bread tastes like. Not all the stores are equally good, but usually you can find somebody who will tell you where's the best boucherie, the best pâtisserie, etc. So we're just going to say the names of these stores to start off with. La boucherie, répétez, la boucherie. La boulangerie. La boutique de vêtements. Vêtements, clothing. Le magasin de chaussures. Chaussures, shoes. Magasin is a general word for store. Shoe store. La poste, post office. La pharmacie. La pharmacie, and that pharmacy will always be marked by a cross. If you go to France, you will look for that. Autre. Le grand magasin. So we said magasin is a general term for store. So grand magasin means literally big store. In this case, it's a department store. Department store. L'épicerie. So l'épicerie is a small grocers or small grocery store. And le supermarché is the supermarket, the bigger store. La pâtisserie, répétez. La pâtisserie. Le tabac. We'll talk about that in a second. La crèmerie. La chocolaterie. Good. So what is le tabac? First of all, it has that C at the end, but this time we're not pronouncing it. Le tabac, obviously you can see it's a place that sells tobacco products. But more generally than that, it's sort of what we would call a mini mart. So they have tobacco products, stamps, lottery tickets. Sometimes they'll sell little food items, candy, newspapers. So it's more than just a tobacco store. Phone cards, that's the other thing. So you might want to go in there and buy a phone card. And it's always marked by this sort of diamond-shaped sign, le tabac. And this is a picture I took recently of un grand magasin, one of the biggest in Paris. It's called Le Printemps. You know that word, right? Le Printemps. Springtime, right? Look how beautiful this beautiful old building, many, well, not many, but probably at least 5 floors of beautiful merchandise. I highly recommend that you visit this when you go to France. Okay, let's look at each of these stores a little bit more closely. Répétez. La boucherie vend de la viande. The butcher sells, that's a new verb, sells meat. Répétez. Du bœuf, du poulet, du porc. Oh, that's another C that we're not going to pronounce. Du porc. Répétez. La boulangerie vend du pain. Are we pronouncing that N? No. Pain. Pain is a general word for bread, but many different types of bread. Répétez. Des baguettes, des croissants, etc. Répétez. La pâtisserie vend des desserts, des gâteaux, des tartes et des pâtisseries. And oftentimes in France, you'll find the boulangerie and pâtisserie are the same store. So the bread and the pastries are sold in one shop. Those are the best stores to visit. La crèmerie vend du fromage. This is one of my favorite quotes by Charles de Gaulle, who was a French general in World War II and the president of France for 10 years in the 1959 to 69. He says, "Comment voulez-vous gouverner un pays qui a 246 variétés de fromage?" How can you govern a country that has 246 varieties of cheese? We can't even agree on a cheese to eat. So is that really literally 246 varieties? No, probably many more than 246 varieties of cheese. It's just astounding. And if you go to a crèmerie, you don't need to just go up and ask for brie or cheese that you know, but ask them for suggestions. You can say, I just want to try a few different types of cheese, and they'll sell you a small slice of different types of cheese, and you'll be in heaven if you like cheese. Répétez. La poissonnerie vend du poisson. And remember, because it has 2 S's, we're pronouncing it as an S, poisson. If it only had 1 S, it would be pronounced poison, like a Z, and it would mean poison. So be very careful to pronounce that correctly when you're ordering it in a restaurant. L'épicerie et le supermarché vendent de tout. So the grocery store and the supermarket sell everything. Well, food things. So in a supermarket, you have different departments. Department would be called a rayon. So répétez, le rayon boucherie, the meat department. Le rayon boulangerie. Look at how big their bread department is. Wow. Le rayon poissonnerie. Le rayon crèmerie. So many varieties of cheese. And that leads us to l'article partitif. D'accord? En Amérique, on met du ketchup sur les frites. In the United States, we put ketchup on fries. Oui, c'est logique. En France, on met de la moutarde. C'est bizarre. Au Québec, on met du vinaigre sur les frites. En Belgique, on met de la mayonnaise. So why is it du ketchup and de la moutarde, du vinaigre, de la mayonnaise? So the short answer is because ketchup is masculine and moutarde is feminine. So before a masculine noun, you would use du. Before feminine, you would use de la. And before plural, you would use des. But why are we using the partitive instead of one of our other articles here? Let's look at that. Oh, but before we have to take a little side note to talk about Belgian French fries. If you ever go to Belgium, you're going to order some of these delicious French fries. Look how big and meaty they are. Literally meaty because they're often fried in beef tallow and often with a variety of sauces you can put on them, la mayonnaise, and note that they give you a little fork to eat them with. They're not barbarians that eat their French fries with their fingers like we do. Délicieux. And if you go to Canada, des frites canadiennes, you have a dish called la poutine. Maybe you've heard of it. So French fries with cheese curds and gravy. Oh, very healthy. No. Des frites avec du fromage et de la sauce brune. So again, we get this des, du, and de la. So all the partitive. So what is this? So let's look at the article partitif versus l'article défini. Tu aimes le chocolat? Oui, répondez. J'aime le chocolat. Tu manges du chocolat tous les jours? Do you eat chocolate every day? Or do you eat some chocolate every day? Oui, je mange du chocolat tous les jours. Tu aimes les fruits? Oui, j'aime les fruits. Tu manges des fruits tous les jours? Oui, je mange des fruits tous les jours. Tu aimes la viande? Tu manges de la viande tous les jours? Et les végétariens? Non, ils ne mangent pas de viande. So, why did we use le, les, and la in these questions, and then du, des, and de la in these questions? What's the difference? So it's l'article partitif versus the definite article. So we've already learned le, la, and les. The definite article is used with the verbs of preference. Aimer, adorer, détester, préférer. So if you say, I like chocolate, you'd say, j'aime le chocolat. And then you use the partitive when you're talking about some chocolate, or if you have something of an undetermined quantity. So if you say, I eat chocolate, you would say, je mange du chocolat. Okay, so this can be confusing for English speakers because in English, we say I eat chocolate, or for example, I eat cheese. There's no article in front of this cheese. But as we said, in French, every noun, 99% of the time, will have some sort of article in front of it. And if you're not specifying a quantity of something, then you default to the partitive. And remember, if it's masculine, it's du. If it's feminine, it's de la. And plural, it's de. So I eat cheese translates as je mange du fromage. Okay? But if you do have an expression of quantity, then it's easy. You always use de. De. À la page 149. Oui. So these are the expressions of quantity. Par exemple, j'achète 1 kilo d'orange. 1 kilo d'orange. Well, oranges is plural here. Why I'm not saying des oranges is because it's an expression of quantity. You're always going to use de. Why is it that D apostrophe here? Voyelle, oui. Et une bouteille d'eau. Répétez, une bouteille. Une bouteille d'eau. Une bouteille d'eau is a bottle of, and eau is water. J'achète 1 kilo d'orange et une bouteille d'eau à l'épicerie. Ma mère achète 10 tranches de fromage à la crèmerie. What is that saying? She buys 10 slices of cheese. Mon père achète un paquet de chewing-gum au tabac. Un paquet de. So it's always de. Doesn't matter if it's masculine, feminine, or plural. As long as there's some quantity indicated, it's followed by a de. The most common ones, beaucoup de. Look at how many letters there are here. B-E-A-U, C-O-U-P. And un peu de. Those are the common ones. The other ones are very useful, and there are flashcards for you to study these. So, mon amie Suzanne, elle est en bonne santé. Répétez, elle achète beaucoup de légumes, moins de viande rouge, plus de fruits, 1 kilo de pommes, 1 litre d'eau. Garfield est en mauvaise santé. He's in bad health. Il achète, répétez, un morceau de lasagne, un sac de chips, une boîte de chocolat, une bouteille de vin, une douzaine d'œufs, 8 tranches de pain. One word about this is this means a dozen eggs, and this is an interesting word. If it's a singular, you take out the S, it's pronounced œuf. Un œuf, you pronounce the F. But if you make it plural, then you no longer pronounce that F. Une douzaine d'œufs. Et toi, qu'est-ce que tu achètes au supermarché? One final thing. This is another picture I took recently. This is a store called La Grande Épicerie in Paris. If you ever get a chance to go there, the most beautiful grocery store you've ever been to. And I had to take a picture of these bottles of water. This is actually from Beverly Hills. But how much is a bottle of water? C'est combien? Une bouteille d'eau? You can see me taking the picture here. 50 euros. That's $57 for a bottle of water. This is the type of thing that Paris Hilton drinks, right? Okay, PowerPoint activity number 1. Écrivez 6 phrases logiques. Utilisez les mots de la liste. Modèle, tu achètes du pain à la boulangerie. So you're going to change this le l'aller to the partitive. And watch out because you're going to say à. in front of these. So there may be situations where A plus le is going to become O, AU, right? D'accord? Les devoirs, two sets of flashcards, le partitif and les expressions de quantité. Let me show you very quickly. So the partitive, this one, for example, you want to say enough bread. How would you translate that? Oh, sorry, go back. Enough bread, assez de pain. A lot of fruits would be beaucoup de fruits. You can't hear it, but when you do it on your own, you'll be able to hear it. Less meat, moins de viande. So you're practicing vocabulary here. And remember, if you need to go to the options, if somehow it's not starting with the English, if it's starting with the French, you can change the options here. OK? Alors, bonne journée. C'est le chapitre final. Au revoir.